We're going to be doing a little sauce, whipped avocado, and wasabi.
Oh, right.
We're bringing our Japan on tonight.
All right.
All the Japanese gangsters are here today. Wasabi, unagi. What's another Japanese gangster? Huh?
Some gnocchi.
Enoki. Enoki, he's the hitman. Do the black and white and the peanut. Crush the peanut up into it.
Gotcha.
This is Frances, she's doing a great job.
So tell me about what you were saying about celebrity chefs.
I think that in the boutique, I think in the hotel world, it's great that that chefs are operating restaurants within hotels. But I think it's very key that they're branded chef restaurants rather than the chef's name. Example, Kraft. We all know it's Tommy Colicchio, but it doesn't say Tommy Colicchio is here. It says Kraft. You know, one of the things that Mario Batali has done craftily is that he's named none of his restaurants Mario Batali. He's named none of his restaurants Batali. The restaurant group is B&B, but you know, whether it's Lupo or Babo or Carne and Vino, they're all individual restaurants and therefore individual brands. So should something ever happen to Le Grand Orange, the brand can still live on. I think that's one of the things with Wolfgang Puck, with Emerald. When it's Wolfgang Puck on the front door, they're expecting a Wolfgang Puck experience, you know, forever and always. Same thing with Emerald, forever and always. But if it's a STK, sure, Ralph Pagano's the chef, but STK is known for great steaks, sexy steakhouse, rock and roll music, you know, dance, have a good time. So it takes the kind of rock and roll chop house to the table. But it's not.
What do you think the trend is going forward in the next 5 years for celebrity chefs?
I think the trend for celebrity chefs in the next 5 years is proper branding of themselves. Let's face it, Wolfgang Puck, you know, the first guy, right? I use him as a guide. My father says I should bow every day towards Spago in California because of what Wolfgang Puck has done. But you look at a guy like the Macchioni family from Le Cirque, who had Le Cirque in New York City, then they opened up Le Cirque in Las Vegas, and then the other ancillary properties that they've done. So it's not only celebrity chef, but I guess it's celebrity-driven restaurants that make that. So what I think is that the chef and the restaurant have to be intertwined, but they have to be separate. And I think going forward, that's what you're going to see. You're going to see chef restaurants that are chef as restaurateur rather than just the chef. And it seems to be the trend already right now. But some of the new hotels that are opening up are more interested in brand restaurants than they are in celebrity chef-driven restaurants. STK is opening at the Cosmopolitan in Las Vegas with a bunch of other branded restaurants, not so much chef names on the front door, but the Blue Ribbon Bakery, the Blue Ribbon Sushi, STK. These are restaurants that transcend having a chef at the helm, but more of what you expect when you walk into it. An understanding, like when you go to Bloomingdale's, you know what you're gonna.
Same thing for hotels, boutique hotels. Boutique and lifestyle hotels. I mean, Cosmopolitan is supposed to be branded kind of as a lifestyle property.
Right.
Would you say the same thing kind of across the board? Are we talking just U.S. or do you know anything about international?
You know, conveniently I do a lot of traveling, so I know a little bit about international, but as a consumer, more so than I'm not a hotelier, right? I operate a restaurant within a hotel.
Right.
I like to go to hotels. I like to eat, drink, and be merry in hotels. So the trend seems to be that the hotel brand is something that you can expect to understand in lifestyle and boutique style, right? So if I know it's a Morgan's Hotel Group, I know what I'm going to get. If it's a Thompson Hotel Group, I know what I'm going to get. If it's a Gansevoort Hotel Group, I know what I'm going to get as a consumer. You know, you say Ian Schrager started it with Morgan's. You can say that Barry Sternlicht, you know, put it on steroids with W. You know, but he's out of W now and looking for, now he's a real estate developer. He's actually trying to buy real estate all around Miami now because it's on the down and he's got buckets full of money that he got from his buyout. So I think that consumers become more educated with the finer things, with the hotels, with the thread count, with the beds, with the comforters, with the glassware, with all the pieces of the puzzle, with the restaurants that provide room service in the hotel. I think that the hotels will become smaller footprint, not 1,000 room, 2,000 room, but more focused on 400, 500 room, 300 room hotels where you can get a higher check average per customer because they're giving them the better things. there's still going to be plenty of big hotels out there where your masses can come through the door, with 3,000 departures today and 4,000 arrivals tomorrow. But I think that when you start dealing with 100 arrivals and 100 departures, it starts to become much more intimate. That the staff members, whether you're working a 1.5, 1.75, 2 to 1 on your guest, that the guest name is known. Like I get a report every day here on VIPs that are entering the hotel, on departures and arrivals every day, and I'm not working for the hotel. We're an independent restaurant, but I'm aware of what's going on every day in the hotel, so that I can better serve those guests when they get here.
You can welcome them or acknowledge them.
I know that Mr. Reynolds is staying in room 1013, and he came to STK 3 times when he was here for this last week, trip, and he liked the foie gras French toast. Okay,
exactly.
So I'm ready for him when he gets here.
Perfect.
So I think that through technology, you hear my phone will beep. I got a text message, and I think a chip just went off in my head as I was talking to you. But the truth is, the more information that we share about our guests, and the more that we understand them, the better off we are to serve them, and ultimately we're in the service business.
That's perfect. That's state of the art.
Yeah, that's
good
it.
stuff.
It's all about being either in front of the technology wave, or you got to run over by it.
Right.
Right. So
well, you got to serve the customer so he comes back. Right.
There's a lot of different options. There's a lot of different. In February in Miami, there's not enough seats in Saturday night to get dinner.
I can imagine.
But in September there is.
Yeah.
So how do you become competitive that your restaurant and your hotel has all the beds full and all the seats filled? Well, attention to detail, a focus on quality, and a focus on achieving guests' satisfaction and perfection.
That's
so
right.
I like to say that if somebody pays at the end of the meal, they ate everything that they got, they drank everything that they got, they get the tab, and they put a 20% tip on top of it, and they leave smiling, I don't need anybody to tell me that we did a good job. That's the sign that we did a good job. Because they leave of their own free volition, leaving more money on the table than they had to.
That's right.
So our goal all the time is, I look at what the server tips are at the end of the night, percentage-wise of sales. And if it's a lower number, I think that there might be a problem. But if it's a higher number, I know that we're doing something right.
I never heard that. That's great.